Good afternoon. Welcome to Jim Munley's World of Weather. You clicked on to long-range weather forecast discussion for January 25th to February 9th. For January 25th to 29th, we have below normal heights here across the high latitudes, the Arctic and Greenland. And you can see we have a trough here on the west, a little bit of split flow, and a ridge in the east. Now, a series of Pacific systems would bring precipitation to Northern California and Northwest, and some of the precipitation will later spread into the Rockies, along with some mountain snows, and we'll look at that at the surface. So here we are, one system here bringing into this region, and then you go further in, and then you see it's part of the Central Rockies are getting hit with some snow and rain. And then energy and moisture streaming ahead of this trough here will bring heavy rainfall into parts of the south, the lower Mississippi Valley, Tennessee Valleys, Gulf Coast, and the southeast, and the southern Appalachians. You can see it here. Now we'll look at the rainfall amounts, I should say. Sorry about that. See, we have rainfall amounts reaching 2 inches here. This is in a 24-hour period. Then we go to Friday, another inch or two. Then we go to Saturday, an inch or two, and then that moves inland. Further to the north. Now we'll look here to the northwest, parts of the area here. It shows the rainfall amounts. Some approaching 2 inches. And then later on, this precipitation will move into the mid-Atlantic and the northeast. Now this, along with the snow on the ground, the snow melt, could cause some flooding concerns, as long as the precipitation here across the parts of the south in the Tennessee Valley. And we can see here we have 1 to 2 inches, but this will be falling over a longer period. But I think the only thing that would cause the flooding is along with the snow melt. I don't think there'll be serious flooding because it'll be happening over a longer period. And this would be due to a couple of fronts here and disturbances moving along the boundary. We'll look at that at the surface too. And we can see we have a front here and a low. Then we have another system moving in. A low here, and a low here over the Ohio Valley, western Pennsylvania, with the possibility of another low forming, but this will be closer inland. And so this can cause some flooding with the snow melt here across portions of the northeast and mid-Atlantic. Okay, we're gonna look at the European extreme weather extreme forecast with the rainfall amounts, and we'll look here. We'll go back here to the 25th, and it seems higher here across northern New England where there's more snow, and then lesser amounts here. Then we'll go further in. Now you can see pockets of heavy rain here across parts of the southeast and moving into the west as we get later into the week. There's some heavier rainfall moving into the peninsula here across the northwest. Okay, now we're going to look at the period for January 30th to February 3rd. And we still have below normal heights here across this region here. Area of strong ridging here across Canada, zone of flow here at above normal heights in the east. So for this forecast period, I am calling for above normal temperatures here, and I'm calling for anomalies to be about 4 to 8 degrees above normal, greatest anomalies here. And for precipitation, calling for below normal precipitation for much of this region here, and notice it dries out here where they had the heavy rain in the previous period, and the chances of occurrence is near 40%. We're going to look now at the period for January 4th to the 8th. We see another change occurring in the pattern. You can see here, this is GFS troughing in the east, ridge builds across the west. Heights become mixed across the high latitudes here. But if you see what happens here, we'll go back to the beginning of the period. This will be the 4th. We have a trough here moving into the west. We'll push this ridge into the east and this trough out. So the beginning of the period You can see we have a little bit of a trough, and then it slowly moves out. The flow flattens, except for the GFS hangs on to the trough, but the other models give way to this ridge with a trough in the west. So for this forecast period, I'm calling for above normal temperatures for much of this region here, with anomalies of at least 6 degrees above normal across this region here. And for precipitation, I'm calling for above normal precipitation here, and the probability of occurrence is near 35%. That is the long range weather forecast discussion for January 25th through February 8th. Thanks for coming to Jim Munley's World of Weather, and have a good day.